At least now he looks a little bit like a hockey player, so happy about that.
That's been the problem for Kyle Wellwood. He didn't look like a hockey player for a long time. Questionable fitness levels and an anemic work ethic had him thrown on the scrap heap in Toronto, and even a second chance in Vancouver was nearly blown for the same reasons.
Tell me about when Kyle got here. What'd you think?
Who's the extra trainer on the team? He doesn't exactly have the prototypical hockey body. Not at all.
You definitely want to prove to yourself that you can play well, and in the playoffs, being on a good team's fun, and getting the rewards of winning games and putting in good team efforts is great.
Wellwood says the turning point for him came partway through the year when he was still putting up some decent numbers, but finding himself a healthy scratch more often than he'd like. It was at that point that he decided to take a long, hard look at the defensive side of his game. And the results have been quite remarkable. Wellwood has become an effective third-line center, good in his own end, reliable enough to have on the ice in the last minute of a tied playoff game. He was +2, won all 7 draws he took in Game 1, and got bloodied up in the process. A gritty showing from a guy not exactly known for his grit.
He worked hard, and he's in good shape, for Kyle Wellwood right now, and it shows off.
No, I think I always, knew what I was doing defensively, but on this team, our goal is to play solid defense and shut the other team down and frustrate them.
And while he knows the responsible part of his game will likely prolong his career, he has not forgotten how he got to the NHL.
Well, I still want to be a scorer. I don't. Definitely playing two ways is important, team-wise, but scoring is, a lot funner.
Ryan Rashog, TSN, Vancouver.
Still scored one of the prettiest goals ever in the history of the World Junior Hockey Championship. Kyle Wellwood knows his role. Last night, I'm not sure that was his role, yet he did it pretty effectively anyway.
Well, he did, and he is an offensive hockey player, and he's got elite-level vision, elite-level playmaking ability, elite-level goal-scoring ability, but it's the smaller things that he's doing now that are bringing added value for Kyle Wellwood and the Vancouver Canucks. Take the face-offs, for example. What is the old saying? If you ain't cheating, you ain't trying. Watch Wellwood on these defensive zone face-offs. The foot is in, and he's actually blocking the other guy's stick. It happened more than once last night. Watch the foot come around. Good, quick eye-hand coordination. Technically, it's cheating because before the puck is dropped, his skate is in the face-off circle, and by the time the puck is dropped, the Chicago forward's trying to get his stick over, but he can't go anywhere because the skate's there. Wellwood's got free and clear vision to the puck. So if you ain't cheating, you ain't trying. I'm sure the Hawks don't think of it that way, and they'll probably complain a little bit about that. But no, that's the added element that he's brought to his game: face-offs, that defensive responsibility, and the fact that he gets his face beat up, gets a chiclet knocked out, gets a cut on his face. As Alain Vigneault says, now he looks like a hockey player. This from a guy who went years and years without ever having a penalty.
I could just see the Blackhawks now watching that video going, I can't believe that was going on. You can bet the league's going to hear about that. All right, let's talk about what happened last night from a discipline standpoint. The third period, obviously, the Canucks started to get a little rattled and lost their discipline. But that wasn't the story in the first two periods. It was the Hawks.
Yeah, it was. Darcy Horchuk made a bad play in the third period to go when they were up 3-1 midway through the period. And that power play goal by Chicago really got them back into the hockey game and almost cost the Vancouver Canucks dearly. But for the first 40 minutes, Vancouver, who had been the discipline problem in the series against St. Louis, found out how the other half lives, and they were able to step up and get power play after power play. Hey, Kyle Wellwood drew 10 minutes in man advantage time for the Canucks. The Blackhawks were very lax with their sticks. Andrew Ladd got the 4-minute minor on Kyle Wellwood. Patrick Kane got a 4-minute minor. Duncan Keith had to do the can opener to try and take Wellwood off the puck. So, yeah, the Chicago Blackhawks came out very flat, but part of the reason they were as flat as they were because they couldn't get any 5-on-5 time to let their skill do the damage, and they ended up having to give the Canucks a lot of momentum in the first 40 minutes with all those penalties.